Hey guys, I'm AT Designs and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am presenting you a little introduction to a collaboration I'm doing with some of my friends. Mae-Gwyn Cosplay and Bandit Spurs have been wanting to do a little bit more content on their YouTube channels, and I've been wanting to do a few little collaborations here and there, but it was just a matter of coming up with what to do for such a collaboration. So I came up with an idea on something that we could do together that would be really fun and incorporate our love for Dungeons and Dragons, and also a little bit of some of the skills that I want to practice. When I was in college, I was studying fashion and costume. So some of the things I learned were illustration, specifically costume and character design. While I'm not the best illustrator in the world, as you will see in a second, it is a skill that I want to practice more of. So I thought maybe I could design some characters and have my friends come up with the details and interpret the design that I give them and see how it goes. So what I did was I designed 4 characters, 2 characters for each of my friends. So I have no idea what their personalities are. I tried not to express too much personality in the drawings themselves. I just went with color palette and the basic idea of the character. Now on their part, they will each post a video of them reacting to the characters I have given them, as well as interpreting and maybe coming up with some stats, some background, some personality, some names, because none of them are named either. And I'm really looking forward to see what they come up with. While coming up with character concepts, I decided to try to make them catered to my friends. So I knew first and foremost I wanted to do a mermaidy-like character for Bandit Spurs, since she describes herself as a water type quite often and usually likes flowy things and watery aesthetics. So instead of just doing a typical water aesthetic, I decided to base the aesthetic off of a betta fish. So this is the little aesthetic board I've come up with and what I worked off of while designing the character. So not your typical watery aesthetic images or colors palette. So blues, dark blues, and some reds. And I really used that one betta fish as my prime example in designing the actual character. As for the character's design, I wanted to use a lot of swirly shapes and little flicks. Again, I'm not sure what class this character would be, but I did give them a trident, and I also had a lot of fun trying to do gradients with comic markers on the tail, but not quite a gradient, more so matching again that image of the betta fish from before. And this character kind of ended up looking a little similar to like a softer version of Undyne from Undertale, and I'm not even that mad about that because the blue skin with the red hair does look pretty cool. That was totally unintentional, I only realized it after I colored them. Character number 2 was for Mae-Gwyn Cosplay, and Mae-Gwyn and I have a mutual love for magical girls, and oh my goodness, does this girl ever love her idols. So I figured she'd be a really good candidate to give an all pastel color palette to, something bright, colorful, a little crazy bit with colors and such. So the color palette and inspiration images are mostly pastries, and also very round and circular. When it came to the character's design, I designed it with a lot of circles in mind. So I used circles to build the basic structure of the character when drawing the basic skeleton of the character, and lots of round elements. I tried to put in as little sharp lines as possible to kind of go with the macaroons and cupcakes that I was basing it off of. Definitely has that idol girl, magical girl vibe. And again, I'm really excited to see what class Mae-Gwyn gives this character because it could be a number of things. I've given them a magical girl wand, so really based on a magical girl, and magical girl is not a class in Dungeons and Dragons. Third character is another character from Mae-Gwyn Cosplay. This one, I really wanted to do something very royal and with rich colors. So purples and golds came to mind right away. And then I thought of amethysts, which is where a lot of the inspiration for the character came from. And then when I was actually thinking of actual design elements of a character that would be amethyst themed, I kind of thought of the manga Utena. This manga has all sorts of strong women, but they're usually wearing like this cool school uniform, princely uniform, so that's kind of the vibe I was going for when designing this character along with this color palette. So when you actually look at the character, I wanted to have a lot of sharper lines this time, like an amethyst would. Sharper lines, leaner lines, points. Character in particular, you can really tell that in school I had to do 9 heads figure drawing, which is the very, very long models when you're drawing fashion illustrations, because this character is tall. This character is long and thin, like your typical fashion template. And I'm not sure what class this character would be, but I wanted to give them some armor and some really cool short hair. So I really like the vibe of this one. And I'm really hoping Mae-Gwyn likes this one too, because I'm pretty proud of this one. I was also slightly inspired by Fire Emblem for this one, because after a while it started looking like a cross of a Utena character and a Fire Emblem character, which is perfect, so that's just all the fantasy you want in the Dungeons & Dragons character anyway. Character number 4 is for Bandit Spurs, and if you follow Bandit Spurs, you're probably well aware, Bandit Spurs is a farmer, a farm girl, lives in the countryside, and loves the fact that she lives in the countryside. Loves her horses, her husband owns a farm, the whole bit. Recently, I've been really into the cottagecore aesthetic that's been going around online, and I decided, you know what, cottagecore, farm girl, let's mix that together to create a character. So the aesthetic board, I decided to put a lot of pinks, greens, more natural tones. I really like the images I found as well. So this was definitely a really fun one because just the colors mixing together and just the overall feel of the images to put into a character was really, really fun. The character itself is another small race in D&D. I'm not sure which one. It could be a halfling, it could be a gnome, could be something else. I'm not sure. I will leave that up to Bandit Spurs to interpret, but I really had a lot of fun with this character. I knew I wanted a big hat on this character, and it was the bell shapes that built up this character. So the bell shape on the hat, the bell shape on the skirt, and on the sleeves happening. The character ended up turning out looking really kind of sweet with a little bit of sass, so I'll see how Bandit Spurs interprets this one. But I think this one might be my favorite. Might be the fact that I just really like pink. All in all, I'm very, very content with how these characters turned out. I'm really, really excited to see the way my friends take these concept drawings that I've done and turn them into a full-fledged, potentially playable character. Let me know in the comments below on which one of these character concepts is your favorite and how would you interpret them? What would you name them? What kind of class would you give them? What is your interpretation? Now, if you've liked this video and liked this challenge, be sure to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and check out my friends' channels where they will be posting their interpretations and reactions to these characters. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm really hoping it gets them into the groove of making more videos, because they're both very good at it. See you guys all next video. See ya.